Hi there, welcome to Big V TV. Great to have you with us. Youth League 1 men, and I'm loving the youthies at the moment, Beth. There's some cracking games every week. Got to see a couple of them on the weekend. G'day, Steve. Welcome to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We often leave him out. We do that on purpose.
Most times.
Yeah, Keysborough 65 went down to Sunbury 73. Keysy pushed him.
Yeah, I told you last week. Last week they had a close result as well. They're starting, although they're losing, they're starting to close the margins.
Yeah,
come straight in and bang.
Timmy O'Donovan had 14 for Keysy. Kyle Collins and Luke Collins had 33 between them. Are they?
Fellows? I don't know.
Oh, they've got to be.
Surely.
Collins boys, are you brothers? Cousins?
I don't know.
Well, it's not brother, sister, we know that. They're boys, so brothers, you'd think, maybe? Twins?
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Twins.
Could be. You never know.
The Collins boys had 33 between them in that game. Nice little win, Sunbury, but well done, Keysy.
Yep.
Just keep battling away. Bendigo, 69, went down to Whittlesea, 80. Jake Wilcox, 14 points. The week before, he dominated.
He did.
Coxie dominated the week before, not this time round. Jack Petruccelli, who's an outstanding young gun, 23 and 8 for Whittlesea. The Pacers get up. Yep. Happy with that?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Geelong 66 went down to Werribee 77. Mitch Alouche, great season, 24 in this game. Tyrone Remy had 23 and 10. He's a great young player as well, let me tell you. Jack Burnett, speaking of good players, 13 and 19 for Geelong. Werribee get it by 11. Geelong just dropping off the pace a bit, Steve-o.
Yeah, a little bit. They've got a couple of good players, obviously led by Jack Burnett, but I think
inconsistent, the Supercats.
Yeah, it's probably the main factor. I think probably props to Werribee taking that one on the road. They had a good weekend.
Werribee's a good team, Steve.
Yeah, they are.
I think that's the thing with Geelong. I think when they start to come up against those that maybe are slightly ahead, that's where they start to fall back. But anyone below them, they do things with ease. So
it's just middle of the pack, and that's where you expect them to be.
So, yeah.
Warrandyte and Altona, we said this would be a good game, and it was. The Venom 69 went down to the Gators 72. Montel Ween, the Wiener again, getting up 17 to 10. He's had a very good season, and followed by Samson Rocker. The Weenster and the Rocker, very good. 14 and 12, Samson Rocker. Zach Stevenson, of course, the dancer out there at Warrandyte, 20 points. The Gators, Steve-o, I've been saying it for weeks. Get on the Gators. Are you with them yet?
You've been harping, and
are you listening?
I'm coming around. I'm all ears. Don't you worry. I'm coming around. Altona, another great win, and they're a great side. I remember that.
Okay,
great side.
Right. Make sure you do. Next game, we're speaking of Altona in the next game, Steve. 88 defeating Camberwell 58. No stats in that one, but Altona dominant to the tune of 30.
Yes. Great side. Is that what you're telling me?
I would have thought that would Camberwell's kind of been another up and down sort of team, kind of winning some here, losing some there, right? But
their best player when the two teams are clashing, Tommy Clifford, Cliffo. Cliffo's been playing the senior man and doing very well. Let me tell you, he's going to be a very talented player for the Dragons for many years to come. Cliffo missing in that team, and it hurts. It hurts. Bendigo 63 went down to Sunbury 71. Good weekend for the mini propellers.
Not so much for Bendigo.
No, Kyle Collins, who's the brother of Luke Collins, maybe the cousin. 21 points. Jackson Fleischer had 10 and 14 for Sunbury. Jordan Mangan had 15 for Bendigo.
He was the other one that had a good weekend last week, and then couldn't.
Well, they split it this week. Yeah, they split it. They couldn't do it together. But Sunbury, great weekend. Are we happy with that?
Yeah, they're
both on the road. Yeah. Both on the road.
They're kind of hanging up there. I think they're probably not the best out of that top kind of group, but they'll hang in where they are.
Coburg 75 defeated the Rat 46. Not a great outing for the Rat. Ross Waitman had 11 and 11 in that game for the Rat. They had 32 turnovers for the team. Fellas, squeeze the orange. Look after the rock, for God's sake. Dominic Bruno, 21 for Coburg. The Bruno machine just continues to pound along, Steve-o.
And I reckon that probably could have been 30 if the margin hadn't have been so big too, because Bruno probably got to sit out his first fourth quarter of the season.
He sat out the fourth quarter?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume that he sat out because that's what you do in basketball. You sit your best players when you're up 30. So Bruno, you look at that and think 21 all, gee, that's pretty average for his standards, but it's probably because he played less minutes.
Two guys I love watching in the youthies. Just the last couple of years, I've just loved watching them.
Okay.
Where the hell is Heathy? Blackburn.
Yep.
And Bruno.
Yep.
DB, Dominic Bruno's been very good to watch.
It
A lot
has
of
been
fun.
for a
Out of
number of
Craigieburn
seasons.
and now
Yep.
Coburg. A lot of fun to watch. Werribee 76 finished off the weekend with a good win, defeating Hume City 67. Tanger, Josh Tang. Now, I got a message the other day about the Tangs. Is there a couple of them?
Yes, and they play for different clubs.
Right, what's the go there? Someone was talking about one's
me.
called Tanger and one's called Tangy, or
One's Joshua Tang's not called Tangy because you called him Tangy.
Oh, right.
And he's called Joshy or something.
Joshy,
and there's another
right.
one that's Tanger.
Right.
Oh,
But they're
you've got me
brothers.
stumped.
But
yeah,
they're
they're
brothers.
and they play for different
Well, whoever
teams.
sent that message, we now know who our one viewer is, so thanks for sending that in. Mark Luxford had 10 points
We
for
have one
Werribee as
every
well.
week, I
We
reckon
have a
that's
different
alright.
one every week. It's good. Pat Daly had 15 and 10 for Hume City. Well done, Devs. Ladder.
Altona 9 and 1.
Sorry, who's on top?
Altona.
Oh.
Right.
Werribee and Whittlesea 8 and 2. Sunbury 6 and 4. Warrandyte 4 and 3. Coburg 4 and 4. Camberwell 4 and 5. Bendigo 4 and 6. Hume City 3 and 5. Geelong 4 and 7. Ballarat 3 and 7. Keysy 0 and 11. That's
Very,
a long ladder.
very tight in the middle there. Very close. There's some important games every week. Round 8, Hume City, Whittlesea. Get on Petrocelli.
Yep.
Paces.
Camberwell take on Coburg. Now, this is one of those games. Coburg are 4 and 4. Camberwell are 4 and 5. Can Camberwell stop the Bruno machine?
No.
No.
No. Is there a double header at Camberwell?
Or a clash?
Or a clash?
That's a very good question. I'll answer that question for you. Stick with me for a second. Stick
We
with
need
me.
that.
D1 men, talk to me, Steve.
Sunday.
Okay. I think that
Just trying to give
I
you
think
some.
that Tommy Cliffo will be playing in that game, and if he does, I'm going to go Camberwell to win.
Yeah, I was nearly going to say DB, but now knowing that information, I'm going to say Camberwell.
Cliffo over Bruno in that game. Werribee take on Warrandyte. I like the Devs at home.
Agreed.
Happy with that?
Yeah, Werribee.
Sunbury take on Altona. Two teams motoring along at the moment.
Altona.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Yeah.
I think the Gators win
Altona.
that. Warrandyte take on Camberwell Sunday.
Oh.
And this is before the seniors as well, so Cliffo will be playing.
Yeah, I think he'll only play a half though, so I think Warrandyte.
Get on the Venom at home.
Yeah.
Venom at home. Coburg, Hume City.
Coburg.
Bruno to get up there. And Whittlesea take on the Rat.
Whittle what?
I'm with the
Whittlesea.
Pacers,
Couple
absolutely.
of teams with some buys this week with a short fixture and most playing double.
Oh, enjoy the week off, fellas.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Youth League,
Steve.
yeah, Youth League 1 men.
It's a good rest for the young boys. They need it. It's all good.
Don't be silly. Get out there and support your teams. We'll see you next week on Steve is a Fool TV.